And now, from your local election headquarters, the only locally produced political talk show discussing the issues that matter to you. This is Big Country Politics on KTAB.
Thanks for being here for this week's edition of Big Country Politics. I'm Victor Sotelo. First, let's get to news making national headlines. President Trump addressed the nation for the first time early last week since Iran's retaliation for the U.S. killing of Iran military commander. Iran launched more than a dozen missiles at the U.S. troops in Iraq this last week.
World. The United States is ready to embrace peace with all who seek it.
President Trump says Iran appears to be standing down hours after the nation's missile attack on two bases in Iraq where American and coalition troops are stationed.
We suffered no casualties. All of our soldiers are safe.
A defense official tells CBS News satellite and intelligence info provided hours of warning for troops to shelter in bunkers as the U.S. braced for retaliation over its killing of Iran's top military commander.
Soleimani's hands were drenched in both American and Iranian blood.
The president, who campaigned on a promise to end U.S. involvement in the Middle East, warned about U.S. strength amid the tensions.
Our missiles are big, powerful, accurate, lethal and fast. The fact that we have this great military and equipment, however, does not mean we have to use it.
President Trump said the U.S. will put additional punishing sanctions on Iran, and he called on allies to help negotiate a new nuclear deal.
We must all work together toward making a deal with Iran that makes the world a safer and more peaceful place.
The top Democrat on the Senate Foreign Relations Committee urged the president to choose diplomacy over escalation.
I think it's as close to the possibility of seeking a different path with Iran than the president will get in his words.
Wednesday, administration officials provided briefings for all members of Congress on the strike that killed General Soleimani. Democrats have called for more transparency about what comes next. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the White House.
And as you know, Iran is a big player in the oil market, and consumers could see a direct impact at the gas pump if tensions remain. KTAB's Washington Bureau correspondent Anna Warnke explains that side of the equation.
In an address to the nation, President Trump said tensions with Iran are easing.
Iran appears to be standing down, which is a good thing for all parties concerned and a very good thing for the world.
Almost immediately after the president's address, oil prices tumbled.
We are independent, and we do not need Middle East oil.
Former national security advisor for the Trump campaign, J.D. Gordon, says the main reason the U.S. is in the Middle East is because of oil.
The Middle East has one of the top supplies of oil in the world.
Gordon says oil prices will keep fluctuating until the U.S. and Iran reach stability.
If we see more strikes by Iran or strikes from the United States against Iran, I think oil prices will go up.
Energy security is national security.
Texas Republican Congressman Michael McCall says the U.S. is now the world's leading oil producer.
We have become energy independent in the United States, and I think Texas has led the way towards energy independence, and that really does impact our foreign policy.
But because oil is traded on a global market, Texas Republican Will Hurd says the U.S. needs Iran to cooperate.
This is something that is within the Iranian government's ability to stabilize international markets.
President Trump says the U.S. will immediately impose economic sanctions on Iran, and they will remain until Iran changes its behavior. In Washington, I'm Anna Warnke.
And back here in Texas, agencies are combining forces to try and prevent Texas from being the victims of mass shootings and terrorist attacks. Governor Greg Abbott has put together a domestic terrorism task force. KTAB's Austin Bureau reporter Wes Rappaport has more.
One thing that was a catalyst for the creation of this organization was the horrific shooting and terrorism that took place in El Paso. But we all need to understand that terrorism evolves.
Governor Abbott says though this task force looks at domestic terrorism, those evolving threats could still be born overseas. Cybersecurity was a focal point of Tuesday's meeting, specifically watching the Middle East. The state's Department of Information Resources reports 10,000 attempted attacks per minute targeting state agencies over the last 2 days.
It's a public safety issue just as much as anything else. As we have our technology world, our systems are connected.
The Department of Public Safety briefed the task force on the state's domestic terrorism threat assessment and
the mass attacks threat to Texas.
In these reports, DPS says racially motivated attacks are the most violent types of domestic terrorism in the state, and firearms are the primary weapons. The agency says the lack of chargeable federal or state domestic terrorism statute makes it difficult for law enforcement to investigate, prosecute, and track overall domestic terrorism trends.
One of the focal points of this organization is to come up with a proposed statute that we would be looking to pass this next session that would, for one, define what domestic terrorism is.
Abbott says Lubbock County's district attorney analyzed the domestic terrorism statutes in all 50 states.
So we want to create a statute that will give prosecutors the tools to prosecute those who are plotting to commit domestic terrorism before the acts of violence occur.
This task force is slated to meet at least once every quarter. At the Capitol, I'm Wes Rappaport. Back to you.
And back here in Taylor County, county commissioners had several building and construction projects to make decisions about at their meeting last week. Commissioners are moving ahead with plans to rehab the law enforcement center. That's the building that Taylor County Sheriff's Office shared with the Abilene Police Department until APD bought and remodeled the building in West Abilene, the old Kmart. And an engineering firm has checked out the LEC and finds there are many isolated issues which need repair, but overall, the building is in good condition. Final plans to fix what needs to be fixed are expected to be completed by March 1st of this year. And commissioners also took a major step to expand the Taylor County Detention Center. The city of Abilene donating property next to the jail on South 27th Street. The expansion of the jail would relieve overcrowding and allow accepting more inmates from other counties. And finally, an update on the old jail at 341 Beacon Street. Commissioners have officially voted to demolish that building after asbestos abatement. Commissioner Randy Williams still urging the court to reconsider putting the building up for sale, even though no one attempted to buy it the last time. Williams then voted no in moving forward with the demolition.
At least put it out there, and if we don't get a response, we don't get a response. And then I think as a court we can say, look, there was no interest.
White champion.
Williams did accept the building's demolition shortly after voting yes in agreement with the court to use the company Asbestos Management Services for the asbestos abatement process. The price tag for the project comes out to an estimated $315,000. Bids for the demolition will go out soon. All right, still to come on Big Country Politics, political analysis. We've got a lot to talk about, from the Iran to local politics, with Dr. Paul Fabrizio. We're back in 2 minutes.